Gordon's up next. He says, hey guys, thank you very much again for the great help you provide everyone on hump days. You're welcome, Gordon. I know that the NAP info on a GMB listing has to be the exact same as it is on the other directory sites, etc. But does the website URL fall under the same umbrella as the NAP? In other words, so he's talking about name, address, phone number, guys. In other words, can you change the website URL for a business on a GMB listing without making the same change on all citations and have the change negatively affect the GMB ranking? Technically, yes, because the URL is also part of the, I know it's not, it's NAP, right? We talk about name, address, phone number, but a URL is part of that. It's like the fourth data point. However, that said, there's a lot of directories that don't actually show the URL, right? It's just name, address, phone number. So it's, in my opinion, it's less important. It's still good to try to keep your data consistent in all cases, but I can tell you for certain that I have used a different domain that had redirects before and experienced a little to no negative effect from that, if that makes sense. Excuse me. So I think the name, address, and phone number part of those is more important. But yeah, I mean, to be clear, I can't guarantee you that if you change the URL, it's not going to create an issue. I'm assuming you don't, either the URL expired or you're trying to use a different URL to protect yourself or for tracking purposes. I mean, I'm just making those assumptions, but if you still have access to the existing URL or the original URL, then set up a redirect to the new URL. That's what I'm saying. Like I've changed the URL because we've changed domains for an existing client, right? For example, I've got a preschool client that we changed the domain entirely for them. And he had 2 locations that were in existence. They had a handful of citations already done, a couple dozen or whatever for each location. But when he hired me, I suggested that we do a domain change and set up the individual locations on subdomains. So what we did was we kept the original domains for each one of the separate locations because they each had their own domain. It was over optimized. Anyways, we kept the original domains and we just redirected those to each appropriate subdomain for the new domain with the location specific subdomains. And we didn't have to go clean up all the existing citations because that's the only thing that changed was the domain. All the other information stayed the same. And since we had done a redirect, it didn't cause any negative issue. In fact, I was able to rank that. Those were the two. That was one of the clients that I was applying the local PR Pro method to when I was testing or developing that method. And we were able to rank both of those locations very, very quickly using primarily just press releases. And it didn't have any effect. Having the original domain redirected to the new domain didn't cause any negative NAP effect. But that's what I would suggest if you have access to it. If you don't, and you can't redirect it, then you may have to go out and do a citation cleanup job. I'd go ahead and just pull the trigger. You're going to have to do it anyways and see what happens. If it causes a negative effect, then I would immediately hire Loganix to do a citation cleanup service. If there's, more than a couple dozen citations, Loganix is the best service I know of for that. Anybody want to comment on that?
Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay. You guys are quiet today. Marco, anything you want to add to that?
No, that was good. So
okay.
I don't feel there's any need for me to add a comment.
All right.